Once upon a time, in Italy, there lived a farmer. He was a hard-working, decent man who had a nice, prosperous farm, which was his lifetime's achievement. But just like with all of us, his clock didn't go backwards. And every day he seemed to put a tiny little bit of additional weight onto his tired shoulders, oh so slightly. But since he was also a very reasonable man, one day he decided he'd have to find someone who could help him to manage his farm. It would have to be someone who would be able to be confident around the cattle and who would take good care of the livestock. Someone who would really care. So one day, the farmer saddled his horse and went to the nearest village with the intention of finding the help that he needed. While looking around the main square, he spotted a young fellow. He was tall, but also quite thin. The only young man who was there, though, so the farmer decided to address him. "I am looking for someone who could help me with my farm. Are you in search for an employment?" "I wouldn't mind that at all, sir," the young man replied. "Do you have any experience working on a farm?" the farmer asked. "I can sleep during a stormy night," the young man replied. "Excuse me?" The farmer was startled. "I can sleep during a stormy night," he repeated calmly. The farmer thought that this young man must have been somehow disturbed, so he left him there and went on wandering through the town. All day long he walked the streets of that small town, but he wasn't able to find anyone who would have liked to work on his farm. So as the evening approached, the farmer went back to the main square to get his horse and head towards his property, when he noticed the tall young man from before, who was still sitting there. "What's your name?" He tried a different approach. "Ferman Campolius," the young man answered. As the farmer was tired and resigning on his intent, he thought it wouldn't make any difference to give it another try. "Ferman Campolius, could you work on a farm?" he asked. "I can sleep during stormy nights," was again the answer. "You know what? Come with me, if you want. We will see what you can do," the farmer said. And the young man was happy enough to follow him. A few weeks passed. Ferman Campolius was working at the farm, but the farmer didn't really have the time to check on him, since he was busy himself. Until one night, a terrible storm broke out. The farmer knew the wind would blow the straw away, scare the cattle, and blow the gate of the barn and of the stables open. So he rushed to Ferman Campolius' room to wake him. "Ferman Campolius, wake up!" he shouted while the storm was roaring outside. But still, he received no answer. "Ferman Campolius!" Again he shouted desperately, with the same result. So he ran down to the stables himself and was ready to face the catastrophe when he saw the stables and the barn's gates both were shut. The straw and the feed sacks were all well fixed, and the animals were safe and sound inside their boxes. A smile appeared on the old farmer's wrinkled face, and he thought to himself, "Ferman Campolius can truly sleep during a stormy night." You see, in life, in your life, if you know what you are doing, if you are prepared, then you, too, can sleep through any storm. No matter what you do in life, stay calm and always be prepared. Do your work and knoweth that after, nothing can get you out of your calm. If you party or are lazy all day long, then you won't be prepared in case of a storm. So get your work done, and then no one will be able to wake you up. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching. and stay blessed.
But I didn't know until this day that it was Rossini all along.